بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والعاقبة للمتقين، ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الأمين وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه الغر الميامين وعلينا أجمعين. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. You are welcome to today's discussion, and inshallah, we are starting today's discussion in the name of Allah the Exalted. We seek for Allah's mercy to be upon the noblest mankind, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May this peace of Allah be extended to the members of his family, to his companions, and to every one of us. Our topic we have been discussing is still the same thing we are handling today. And the topic is Nigeria educational system in crisis, causes and solutions. What are the things that led our educational system into crisis? And what are these crises we are talking about? We've been able to enumerate and highlight some points in our last discussion. Today, we will start today's discussion by looking at the aims of national policy on education in Nigeria. You know, there is national policy on education. What are the aims of national policy on education in Nigeria? One of the aims of this national policy is to build a free and democratic society. Then I ask us, are we really living in a democratic society? Are we really living in a safe and a free society, despite the level of our education, the primary level, the secondary level, the tertiary level of education, the exposure of our leaders? We have a lot of educated people, educated leaders, but despite the fact that we were able to acquire these educational skills and levels, we are still living in a society that is not democratic. And one of the aims of the national policy on education is to make sure that our nation is democratic, that our society is democratic, that our society is safe. Are we safe from insecurity? We're not safe. Kidnapping here and there, killing here and there, abduction here and there. It is because our educational system has failed. And if the educational system fails, you don't talk about democratic society. You don't talk about a free and a safe society. So this is one of the reasons why we find our educational system in this mess, in the crisis we are talking about. Another aim of national policy on education is to build a united and strong, self-reliant society. A united society, a self-reliant society. Are we united? There's no unity in this society. In Nigeria, as a case study, there's no unity. Hausas are saying we want to do this. Yorubas are saying no, we want to go for Odua nation. Igbos are also saying their own. So where is the unity? If there's no unity in a particular society, then the educational system of that society has failed its people, the people of that society. If truly our educational system is normal, is serving the purpose for which it formulated, we will not be divided. We will have been united. We will be bonded together. But you see disunity here and there, tribalism here and there, killing, abduction because of our tribe, because of our ethnics, is a sign of educational failure. So it means building a united and strong and self-reliant society is not achieved through our educational system. That is why we say that educational system is in crisis. The third aim of national policy on education in Nigeria is building a great and dynamic economy for the society. I don't want to waste time on that. We all know that we don't have any dynamic economy for this society, for this nation. So are we saying our aims, the aims of national policy on education in Nigeria is not achieved? Is that what it means? Because there's no any dynamic economy for these nations. Education is aimed at creating opportunities for people, for the citizens, for the populace. Where is that opportunity for people? You see people bagged certificate, they have the certificate, they have gone through all the recommended and stipulated levels of education, yet they are jobless, no opportunities. There are no jobs, unemployment here and there. And that is why we have our youth misbehaving in our society, because we ask them to go for education, they went for education, they are educated, they have the certificates, they are graduates, but there's no opportunity, there are no jobs opportunities. So one of the aims of our national policies on education is not achieved, because what is the essence of going to school without having anything to do after your graduation? That is why we have our youth saying school has come, and our government are expected to look into this critically, and our leaders are expected to work on this, because if it continues this way, people will just leave education, and they will not bother themselves to pay attention to education again, because there's no how you can convince a youth, a young person who has gained admission and discovered in the society that even those who have the certificate, have PhD, masters, professors are suffering. And some of them are jobless. How many PhD holders are roaming about without job? And we are sponsoring touts. We are sponsoring those that are not educated. So these are the reasons why we continue to drive our educational system into crisis, because it is not providing any opportunity, any job opportunity for people. Then another aim of national policy on education in Nigeria that we want to look into is building a just society. تكوين المجتمع العادل, a just society. Don't let me discuss this. I want to leave this for reflection. I want to leave this point to every one of us for reflection. Are we living in a just nation? Are we really living in a just society? Answer is capital no. So, brothers and sisters in Islam, these are the reasons why our educational systems have failed us, because the aims formulated and speculated as aims of national policy on education in Nigeria are not achievable. They are not achievable, they are not achieved, and they are not achievable because there are no other ways to achieve them, and there are no plans towards achieving them. So we need to work on this, and we need to look at this critically. My brothers and sisters in Islam, you see, when we are talking about education, Islam lays emphasis on education. Talk of any type of education, formal education, informal education, or you call it non-formal education. Islam pays attention to education, and any nation which fails to educate its people has failed to serve them, has failed to secure anything good in that society or nation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He created Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, علم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين. Allah taught Adam what he did not know before, in order for him to live above other angels, in order for him to achieve the aim for which Allah has created him. He taught him, He educated him. Adam was educated, and that was why he was superior to other angels. So when we are talking of education today, and we don't count it to be anything valuable, when we are talking of education today, those who have spent their life, they have spent their energy, their money, their time to be educated, are the ones suffering in the society. When we are talking of education today, and our youth are replying us that school has come, how do we progress? How do we progress in such a society where education is not recognized, is not regarded to be anything valuable? Our brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam what he did not know. ثم عرضهم على الملائكة. And after he had taught Adam This is this. This is how you to use this. This is for you to know this. This is what you are expected to use at a speculated time, at a specific time. He was taught. He was educated. You see, it was created later. The angels of Allah have been in existence, and that was why they said when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told them he was going to create a vicegerent, they said, no, we have been worshiping you. Will you create another being? But we have been worshiping you. That is to say that they have been in existence worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before the creation of Adam. But when Allah created Adam and he was educated, he was superior to them. And Allah asked them to bow down for Adam. Why? Because of what? Because of education. So our youth, those of you that are saying education is not good, school is scam, I'm just appealing to you that don't look at the present situation in Nigeria. Tomorrow will be better than this. And if by tomorrow the nation is looking for those that are educated and you are not educated, there's nothing you have to present them. So I'm appealing to you, school no be scam. School no be scam. School is something that when you go to school and you are well educated, you can change all these abnormalities that we find in our society today. Brothers and sisters in Islam, I am still on the point that Islam lays emphasis and pays attention to education. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to be a prophet, he educated him. He chose for him a teacher. Malaika Jibril was the teacher of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the first assignment Allah gave to him as a commissioned prophet was to learn. Ikra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaq al-insana min alaq. Jibril came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he told him, read. And the Prophet was replying him, Ma ana biqari, I cannot read. If education is not important, Allah wouldn't have made the Prophet ﷺ to go through that educational process. Jibril told him, read. He said, I could not read, I cannot read. Nor can I write. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now taught him what to read. Ikra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, khalaqa al-insana min alaq, ikra wa rabbuka al-akram, alladhi allama bil-qalam, allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. And that is why we said Islam is the religion of education. Islam is a religion that pays attention to education and owns to it to be one of the important things that we must do in our society. Today, our government doesn't pay attention to education. That is why we find ourselves in these challenges. That is why we battle with this created problem we have created to ourselves. So Islam is the religion that pays attention to education. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu says, من أراد الدنيا فعليه بالعلم ومن أراد الآخرة فعليه بالعلم ومن أرادهما معا فعليه بالعلم. Whoever wants to live a better life, let him be educated. Let him go through education. ومن أراد الآخرة, and whoever wishes to meet Allah in a very befitting manner, whoever wishes to be happy whenever he meets Allah in the day of Qiyamah, فَعَلَيْهِ بِالْعِلْمِ, let him acquire knowledge, let him be educated. وَمَنْ أَرَادَهُمَا مَعًا فَعَلَيْهِ بِالْعِلْمِ, and whoever wishes to combine this life and the hereafter together, having the blessings here and the hereafter, being safe here and the hereafter, being successful here and the hereafter, there's nothing that can make you to achieve the two simultaneously, except that you are educated, you are knowledgeable. So education is very, very important, is key to our life, and we must pay attention to it. And now we want to look into the causes of this educational crisis we are having in Nigeria. What are the causes?